Black YouTube is known for its pettiness, dustiness, and its beefs. And of course, O'Shea Duke Jackson has played a part in all of them because I'm rich. Rewind Nemo. But back to the story though. That's what we do over in this community. But white YouTube, or YouTube proper, also does the same goddamn thing, but on a whole nother level. In fact, some of these people even meet, laugh, and debate on the same podcast. And that happened with Destiny, who's a YouTuber slash streamer in JustPearlyThings, who is the greatest grifter on earth. So how did this beef actually start? In my honest opinion, after Destiny went to London to do a podcast with her, Mr. Destiny stopped by the No Jumper podcast and he was asked about JustPearlyThings and her subscriber count. And unfortunately, he had this to say.
Do you think your girl would be mad if you fucked JustPearlyThings?
What?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really
And
thought
what
about it.
happened to Pearly though, man? Like, she had like a very like rising star trajectory, and then she just like started talking to like more people, and then they just
Here's the two issues with JustPearlyThings. Okay,
Yeah.
One is her growth was never as explosive as people thought it was. She hardcore gamed the shorts algorithm. Okay, like that 1.5 million subs, that's like 200,000 subs, right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because if you look at her long form content, she struggles to get like I think 150,000 views on a video. With like over 1.5 million subs on the channel.
Yeah.
So that's the first up. Secondly, she was growing in kind of the pocket of all of that red pill stuff exploding. And now people have kind of,
Don't care
let the
no more.
air out of the tire a little bit, and it's kind of deflating a bit. And so she's like, she blew up on these shorts, and then she's kind of like drifting here, and then all the other red pill stuff is kind of like whatever, and she's just kind of like, ooh, because she, in my opinion, not to be mean or rude to her, I don't know if she offers much in terms of her individuality that people would want to stick around for, right? Like as much as I might not like their beliefs, I could understand why people would watch like Myron. I know why people watch Fresh and I know why people watch Andrew Tate.
You see, guys, Destiny probably shouldn't have said that, he felt that Pearl was pretty much a con artist here on YouTube with not that much talent. And ever since he said that, JustPearlyThings has been taking shots here and there. Even when he took the shot at Destiny about the Fresh and Fit fiasco.
Where when the left does essentially the same thing, how many stories have come out of Destiny sleeping with someone that he collabed with, but nobody Me Too's him.
But now we're back to something else, because Destiny put out this particular video called Destiny Has No Patience Left for Red Pill Men. And I want you to listen to this clip because this is very important. Destiny is going to talk about, men being too concerned about women's body counts. He never talks about any man's income. He never talks about men of any race or ethnicity. He's only dealing with a concept that revolves around men being too concerned about a woman's body count and being insecure. Let's play the whole clip.
How would you deal with the resentment that men might feel because they always have to initiate social risk? 99% of approaches, like if you keep falling over and over while the other side doesn't even try. I don't know, dude. I don't know. If I was in a red pill space, I would say that women should try harder to equalize the dating standards so that the onus isn't always on men to do things because that's not a fair thing or whatever. But now that I'm out of those spaces, I would say grow a pair of balls, and if you don't have the guts to walk up to a woman and ask her, you probably don't deserve to get laid anyway. And I hope that your DNA rots out of the gene pool if you're too much of a pussy to walk up to a woman and ask her if she wants to. So I don't know. Ask me when I'm on like some red pill show, and I give you like a nicer answer. Listen, it's just more bitches for people like me if you're too scared to even ask a girl out. What's wrong with them today? I've just been so irritated, like coddling weak fucking men for so long. It actually like leans on me so fucking hard. Like I think that the people that fill these spaces that are like the super judgmental of the women and the body counts and all this shit, it's just like the weakest form of like weak man feeling. And then it's even more irritating because you've all these people have all fooled themselves, and I guess their audience is into thinking that like they're the strong men. And it's like the idea of like the strong man's or the weak man's idea of a strong man is some guy that obsesses over like how many men women have and are obsessed with like shitting on women all day. And I feel like to anybody with any amount of insecurity, like it's so obvious how like rapidly insecure these people are. But it's convincing, I guess, to most people because most people are losers. But, I don't know, it's been irritating dealing with it for so long. But like, listen, we're almost back to politics. You guys can. There's literally no point to killing this guy. I don't even think he has combat logs on him. Tate doesn't obsess over body count. I think he did for a little bit, but he's grifting on to the next thing now. So.
But that's not what JustPearlyThings felt. she took this completely out of context, and then she responded with this video.
Okay. And I think it's an interesting, we're just in an interesting paradigm in society where the internet has really let us live in la la land, where the internet really props up a lot of losers. Yeah. Now, Destiny is a streamer, right? And I want to talk about streamers and just this really like, and he's not the only one that does this, where they personally attack the men that have average jobs. Most men make average money. So by and large, if there are large male followings from red pill creators, most of them are going to be average guys. Wouldn't we agree? Wouldn't we agree most people are average? So, and when we look at the top industries that are male dominated, a lot of them, so one is truckers. That's like one of the top employers of men. We could also look at different, half of men have infrastructure jobs. So that means plumbers, that means electricians, even let's say a bus driver. You need all of these people in order for society to run. Now, if Destiny stops streaming tomorrow, all of society would be fine. Honestly, if all of us internet entertainers disappeared tomorrow, we would all be gone. So I was thinking, I'm like, how crazy is it that the man who watches people for a living, he's probably going to react to this, right? He's a class A watcher, is going around saying all you men are low value because you don't want whores. I mean, he doesn't say it like that, but let's I'm going to interpret this. I just want you guys to hear how stupid this sounds.
You see, Just Pearly Things continues to show, she's not very cerebral when it comes to this thing of debating here on YouTube or even critically understanding what somebody's talking about. Destiny never once mentioned average men. And if you look at the title of her video, Destiny calls average men low value when he's an expert streamer. She starts talking about things that just don't make any sense about men who are plumbers, average men who are in the workforce, and things like that. That's something that she just completely made up, which has nothing to do with the actual topic. But then she talks about these modern women out here who are unaccountable doing the same thing. The reality is she just doesn't like Destiny. So because she doesn't like Destiny, let's take his comment out of context and try to go ahead and make him say some things that clearly he didn't say. Now, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't really watch Destiny. I only really watch black YouTubers. Not that I'm against watching people from other communities, but he's a streamer, and again, he's a very good streamer, but I don't watch Destiny. But in this particular clip, he's not saying anything that she's alleging him to say. She's pretty much curating this whole idea of something that doesn't exist. And you only are doing that because you just don't like the guy, because the guy actually is a more talented streamer or YouTuber than you. And then you're talking about like he's an expert streamer. Like, okay, you talk about women and you're not even an expert streamer as he is. You're talking about modern women all day and talking about how women are dumb and they're not that smart. And you're on YouTube grifting from what everybody else says. Like, you're the same person who just defended Fresh and Fit, who are clearly doing racist things and losing the bag. But that was Just Pearly Things really out there twerking for Fresh and Fit. Now you want to go ahead and try to make up an argument that doesn't exist and then try to downplay the guy for being an expert streamer when none of those two accusations makes any sense. Guy clearly was talking about guys who don't want to date women with a high body count. And I can disagree with what he's saying, but I'm not going to say, wow, well, he said that those guys are emotional or insecure, but you know what? He's an expert streamer. I mean, like, I'm not dealing with what he's talking about at that particular point. All right. You're trying to not even deal with what he's talking about. So you need to make up something to clearly indicate what he's talking about when he's saying nothing that you're accusing him of. And then you go on a completely different tangent accusing him of talking about average guys who are working there and we need these guys in the economy. What in the fuck does that have to do with anything? The only thing he says is that most people are stupid. Clearly he's saying that, and I believe that we know who one of them is, but we won't call any names because this is a Sunday today and I actually want to be nice. That's really what we're dealing with. Just come out and say you don't like the guy, because all of the guys in the red pill, for the most part that I know, that I've come across on your channel, are either one, liars, hypocrites. They'll come on here and say that they don't spend money on women, and then they'll be like, you know, Fresh over there, who's actually spending money on TikTok on OnlyFans models and white girls who expose him in the comment section. Like, that's the whole situation. So if he's an expert streamer, what does that make Fresh and Fit when clearly they're not even that? Wait, hold on. Let me play this receipt from Pocket Watching with JT just so we get a good gist of who they are.
Now, once again, all of this comes directly from these two guys. This comes from them. So let's take a look at what they say about themselves. Now, I cannot pronounce this gentleman's real first name, so I'm going to go by his alias, Myron Gaines. So Myron is an author, a real estate investor, prior to entrepreneurship, so before starting the podcast. So let's be clear. The podcast is really his self-employment. Before the podcast, there wasn't really self-employment. He goes into this pretty deep when he talks about being someone who was an agent for Homeland Security, then the podcast. Wasn't a whole lot of business deals going on between those two things. So it's Homeland Security, podcast. So before Homeland Security, before the podcast, he was working as a special agent. Got it. And he holds a degree in criminal justice from Northeast University in Boston. Now, when I read through his own bio, I don't really see any type of expertise in these three things. Now, he's got a degree in criminal justice. Shout out. He worked as a special agent, Homeland Security. All right. But what does that have to do with any kind of expertise in females, finance, and fitness?
So if Destiny is an expert streamer, what does that make Fresh and Fit, who clearly you're defending? These guys are not experts either, of nothing. They're grifting just like you. Are you mad that he's talking about your space? Yes, you are. You're upset that he said that you're not that good at YouTube. So how about you just take it for what it is and see how you can improve yourself instead of trying to make beefs that just don't exist. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. All right, appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.